Now we're joined by Kyle Austin, who is running for one of Montana's U.S. Senate seats as a Libertarian. Kyle, thank you so much for being here this morning.
Yeah, good morning. Thank you for having me on the show today.
Now, this is your first time in an election as a Libertarian. You've previously run as a Republican. Why the change?
Well, so I ran as a Republican. I've been a lifelong Republican. My grandfather was a Republican. My father was a Republican. And with the division among the Republicans and the name calling, I felt it was appropriate for me to switch to the Libertarian Party, where I can continue my conservative values to represent Montana. I do believe that this is the year that a third-party candidate can really shine, because both parties, Democrats and Republicans, have destroyed the reputation on what they're doing, and they're failing to represent the people of Montana, and that's what I plan to do.
What were your thoughts on that shakeup we saw when Daines dropped out pretty much last minute?
You know, it was really surprising, but again, it comes down to, why is Daines picking the replacement? You know, Daines should not have filed. He should have announced that he wasn't going to rerun and allowed people to come up and actually compete on the Republican ballot for the primary.
Let's talk about some of your political priorities.
Absolutely. So being a fourth generation Montana, I am a candidate for all Montanans. I mean, I got Native American friends, Native American neighbors. I'm a pharmacist of 18 years. I'm a small business owner, a farm and rancher. And so I understand all of the issues in the state of Montana. Big government. I mean, being a small business owner, big government has stepped on small businesses, and it is my number one priority to doge and defund agencies that are out of control, like the Montana Department of Labor and Industry, completely out of control. And as a United States Senator, I want to pull $93 million away from that agency and give it back to the Montana taxpayer. The second priority as a pharmacist for 18 years is Healthcare 2.0. I've been thinking about this for years. It's just not about lowering the cost of prescription drugs. There is a lot of corruption in the healthcare industry. As a pharmacist, I understand that, and I want to overturn the entire healthcare industry, consolidate it, eliminate the waste, and make it run efficiently.
Okay. So born and raised in Montana, what are your thoughts on the cost of living in Montana?
So the cost of living is out of control. Okay, there's a lot of things we can do with that. Even the cost of doing business on our farm and ranches. I mean, our farmers and ranchers out right now are seeing problems with high fuel prices, high fertilizer prices. They can't afford to put crops in the ground this year. And so we're seeing those family farms disappearing, and that's something we have to take immediate action on. As a farmer, I understand we bring our fertilizer out of Canada. Why are we dependent upon Canada for our fertilizer? Let's build a fertilizer production facility right here in the state of Montana. Now, when it comes to housing, again, property taxes are one of the big things. We have to cut government so government doesn't need more money to operate. It goes back to the old saying, we have to cut the fat.
What are your thoughts on President Trump's term so far?
You know, he's really making waves, and that's not a bad thing. I mean, people out there making waves, actually, it's like stirring the pot. You see where our faults are at, you see where our positives are at, and you make those changes for the future. And so what he's doing, we could agree with it or disagree it, but it's going to really pave the way for our future, whether it's in an AI, with our AI race against China, whether it has to do with our space race, going to the moon and building a campus on the moon. I mean, there's a lot of things in the works right now that a lot of people aren't thinking about.
What are your thoughts on the war?
So the war, I am not a fan of endless wars, okay? I understand we have reasons that the Muslims are our enemies, Iran is our enemy, but it's not our war. And we should have sat back and we should be there to defend ourselves, not to go into a Middle East country creating an endless war. I really think that Trump did not think this through very well, and he's in a position right now where the world is not backing him. I mean, when he reached out to the entire world to help the Navy in the strait, to open the strait back up, and not one country stepped up to defend him, that's a message that the world is sending, that Donald Trump, you don't belong there.
Now, you just said that Muslims are the enemy. Does that count for every Muslim?
So the Muslims that have moved to the United States, okay, they still practice their old religion. And there is some issues going on specifically in New York right now that you see it, where they are colonizing and they are electing their people, and they're still wanting to push their Sahari law into our government. And so there is an internal terrorism. I mean, terrorism doesn't have to be done with bombs and missiles. They can do it with their religion. They can do it by getting into our government and changing the way America does business, the way America values are. And that's where we have to really protect ourselves as well in the United States.
Now, Kyle, you were arrested in 2023 for domestic violence, a domestic disturbance. We're 3 years out from that. What do you want to say to the people?
Well, here's the thing: is what the news says isn't always true. Okay, so yes, I was arrested. The thing was, the cops were wrong. The cops were wrong. I went through the system, and everything was dismissed and released. So again, you can't believe everything the news says, and cops aren't always right. I'm not saying they're bad people, but a lot of times they have a process. We have to go through the process, but at the end of the day, I did nothing wrong.
Now, you recently wrote to the Secretary of State, Chrissy Jacobson, saying that you have some, quote, concerns of potential voter fraud. Can you explain that a little bit more?
Absolutely. So we're in a state where we want to, the SAVE Act just passed yesterday, which is great for America. I mean, we need to preserve our voter integrity. One of the concerns I have is Seth Bodner, running as an independent, has to collect 13,300 signatures to be on the ballot. And I think this is a huge concern for Montanans, that who's signing that ballot? I want to make sure that they are Montana residents, that they are Montana registered voters, and they belong, that signature belongs on that ballot. I want to make sure that there's not dead people on that ballot. I want to make sure there's not foreign people on the ballot. I want to make sure he's not on campus having students that are not Montana residents signing that ballot. So I want Chrissy Jacobson to do her job and continue voter integrity and making sure that every signature on that ballot belongs there.
Yeah. Did you ever hear back from her on that?
I did not get a response from Christy on that.
Interesting, very interesting. So we're going to circle back one more time. I know you mentioned this is like your biggest thing that you want to fight for, but you're a local business owner. If you are elected, what would you fight for the most for other local business owners here in Montana?
You know, the big thing with local business owners, getting the Department of Labor and Industry out of the way. What we see is a lot of socialism being manufactured in the Department of Labor and Industry that does not allow a business to function anymore. They are literally ran by a number of rules out of the Department of Labor and Industry. Then you have the rights of the business owner on the hiring and the firing being dictated by the Department of Labor and Industry. So when does a small business owner get to legally fire a bad employee? And so we got to get that out of the way. The other thing is property taxes. So in the city of Billings, for example, the property taxes are out of control. Small businesses, they struggle to just make that bill, but yet we're competing on a world level. For instance, how many small businesses that pay local taxes here compete with Amazon? But Amazon pays zero income tax in our communities. Is that fair to the local businesses? It's not. And that might be a conversation for the state legislature to switch from a property tax model for small businesses to a sales tax to allow every business competing on the global level to pay a sales tax and offset that for our local businesses.
Awesome. Well, Kyle, thank you so much for being here this morning. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, I appreciate you. Thank you.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.